Hey guys, we'll be starting in just a few minutes. Dev, why don't you say a few words so we can make sure they can hear you and someone there
We can
can
always
confirm.
cancel the podcast and just go to sleep.
We can do that next week.
When we don't have one.
Yes, we'll just both go to sleep early that night. We'll just be like, no podcast this week. Head to pillow. I need to get new pillows, frankly.
Pillows are important.
My
Half the time I just use the plushies for it as a pillow.
Oh, I have like 3 pillows on my bed, but the one that I prefer using has hit the point where I swear my head feels lower than it should.
I get that. It's like, this is the one that I like. Oh, it's sinking
Yeah.
and sinking.
Yeah, and now it's sinking at the point where it's probably an issue. Okay, they say they can hear both of us. You ready to go, Dev?
Huzzah.
Welcome to the With Will podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run With Will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm DevQ, and I occasionally stare at Wikimon and have regrets.
I can imagine that nowadays the way Dev admins on Wikimon is, she sits there with a drink, looks at Wikimon, and then pulls up a different window while taking a sip.
Yeah, and also it's like, how the fuck am I going to format the chapters for Seekers?
Especially since, well, we'll get into that when we talk about Seekers. How's the last few weeks been for you, Dev?
I have been horrendously sick, and it is a miracle of science and medication that I am able to mostly speak at the moment.
Yeah, I think you can hear my voice is a bit off also. I'm in about that mental, physical state. Uh, so first up, I guess we should talk about the obvious is last Sunday, I messaged Dev and I'm like, I think we need to push back talking about the movie. And Dev goes, oh no, what happened? I go, they're going to run through Seekers to the end. She's like, oh, okay. Because
And then
let's
that
go
happened.
let's go ahead and start with Seekers. There's a bunch to talk about here. So first up, 4-8 was Saturday as always. Um, the turn reveal. I don't think it's not only not surprising. I think all three of us back when AR was on the show called it in like chapter segment 1.
Yeah, that and the little trailer, the video
Yeah.
trailer for Sons of Chaos kind of cemented that.
Yeah, lots of heavy exposition for 4-8. It's weird. Seekers is best when it basically goes, I'm going to stop the story and just have the characters talk about themselves and their feelings.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, 4-8, I was feeling a good bunch of it until I saw the line, and he code cracked their story, their lives. And I just went, that's a painful line someone wanted to get in there.
It was very awkward.
4-9.
At this point, it's
Yeah,
just a blur, just
yeah, they
because
kind of
like,
blur
oh,
because
let's
there's a lot of stuff that happens between them. So 4-9 kind of continues that info dump, but this is where like I feel like I missed something where it goes he was mad all along. And it feels a bit odd because it feels like going with the science made it feels like the angle with science made him mad he had to control the world is how it came across to me.
It just
Uh,
came off as
it feels like in the
it felt
flashback,
forced.
it feels like we needed some more moments in the flashback chapter of Ryu Senji acting kind of strange or off because they kind of play. You kind of need the guy to act questionable a bit more, I think, and it felt
Yeah,
like
because before it was just like, oh, okay, he just happens to know everyone and is handing out docs like
yeah,
candy.
yeah. We need it to be like have one doc look slightly evil, or the doc goes wrong and it's not clear why. It feels like they never really set him up being evil. We just all went, this is definitely where the story's going for no, because that's just what stories like this do, and there was no actual framing well enough of him going evil. And weirdly, he does not give a shit about his daughter in any fashion, which is it feels really weird. Like it feels like you need some explanation of that outside of just eh.
Yeah, that fell out of left field because like before it's just like, oh, okay, well, doing this is kind of dangerous. I don't like my
I
daughter
I
doing it.
I
And
I admit, and this is where I may have just missed something. Am I wrong, or do they clarify that she is in fact still alive? It's just the footage is fake. I
it
admit,
felt like, oh, she's dead for a while, and then it's just
and,
like, oh no,
then it's like no,
what
she's
I
not.
sent you
She's
is
not actually.
real.
Yeah, it's like she's not actually dead. It's just the footage was fake, and don't know if there's a translation issue there, or if I just missed something. Because
That was
she
very confusing as well.
they did say she's still alive. It's just all the video footage of her has been faked for some reason, even though she's in a coma and can't do anything. Like, is it
Yeah, it's
just
like, oh
like is it
yes, he did go to the American facility and is in a coma, but
is it just that
I
she looks sicker and he needed it to look to Kosuke like she'd be okay as long as he got her back?
I don't even
Okay,
fucking know at this point. It
okay,
was just
yeah, I admit I got lost on if I was just missing something. Um, one of the high points for me, honestly, was 4-10, which is the Tyrannomon popping up after not popping up for a while. That worked really
I
well for
was
me.
hoping they would.
It worked really well for me. The one thing that
Well,
didn't,
because they kind of foreshadowed it a little bit is that Kosuke kind of like pulled out like the random two Mega Digimon from the dock that he
yes,
just happened to have with him.
yeah,
It's like, up, AG
yeah,
still has the dinos in the dock.
yeah, good to see them. The thing I didn't like about 4-10 though, it was very talky, but a lot of the stuff was just there to reinforce character bits that they only gave us in 4-9, like about Ryo Senji being evil. So it was kind of like this weird thing where they're telling us a lot, but everything they're telling us is to reinforce something we just learned. Bad guy got
Yeah,
a bad guy. 4-11.
it kind of feels like they were kind of going for like the analog man kind of
See, I don't know.
references.
I don't know how literal that was, or if it was more a case of because we know so little of him as the antagonist, if it's just really easy to connect to that guy who most people don't know much about anyways, and just having there be a laughing guy trying to take over just fits so well that it's just
Just some old guy who discovered
yeah.
Digimon.
4-11 the professor's more interesting here, but it's also weirdly almost all the evil professor stuff came across as unfulfilling to me just because
It felt forced and artificial.
yes, in the sense that because he only shows up right for the final battle, and it like did they telegraph he was evil? Not really. We all kind of just went, I don't see what else the story's gonna do with this guy. So we kind of just went with that from the beginning as what we expected. But there's no deeper like it doesn't seem to mesh with what they even explained were his goals from the beginning. At some point, he just went, "Well, I have a lab coat. I need to be evil. I have
Wahaha,
glasses."
I don't care about people.
Yeah. Um, I will say the reintroducing of Leon and Pulsemon worked with some interesting twists, which they didn't really deal with. The thing that I don't know if it worked was I don't know if Death X Evolution for at the end of 4-11 matters because it feels like they're just going, "This is the end. We have to pile it on now."
Yep. Just like, oh, the source Digimon. Also, here's just Death X Bond. We're just gonna
Yeah,
throw some years on this
and then
and
for
call it
4-12,
a day.
we get a lot of character exposition. The ending, as much as people complained about it, I had no issue with it for a key reason. This is the weird
It's a
kind.
web novel.
Not just that, the idea is that the growth of the characters and figuring themselves out and what they want, and it ends as the final battle begins, is not that wild of a thing in various Japanese media. Like, did you ever watch IGPX?
No. Like,
Cartoon,
I
cartoon.
think I've seen like an episode or two a long time ago, but it's to the point where it's just
So
like I
the
don't fucking remember.
the final two episodes are the last two races of the race season. Those were not going to be part of the show. Cartoon Network made them make those episodes. It was literally
Oh.
going to end as the same thing here, where like the good guy and the bad guy face off after the good guy's figured himself out, and it ends with them both rushing at each other with swords. So that is a
Yeah, I
like
can
that
see why
that
that would be unfulfilling.
that is a common ending. The idea is that you don't actually have to see the battle; you just need to know that the hero has figured themselves out. Now, the issue here is right when it was published, they went, and there's an epilogue. It's like, no, if you're going to do that ending, you actually have to do that ending. Like, and the problem is there's because it's the world-ending stuff. It doesn't really fit the that ending works better when it's a more personal thing. And this is like he's trying to take over the world. He has a giant zombie monster. That so the epilogue kind of sucks that out.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like I understand this is
I
acceptable, but also I hate it.
I will say the thing that worked least for me is Takumi Kazuchi. I thought I had thought and hoped they were going to do something interesting with it, but instead it's just we can't use Alphamon or Yuken, so here's not Alphamon or Yuken.
I was kind of against hope, hoping for Alphamon, Oryuken, and
No, I
Fenrir.
was hoping for that, or for them to be some unique need to have another a like maybe he rides him like a wolf and they both have swords or something cool like that. Instead, it's just they can't use Alphamon because of where the plot they've decided to take it. So they've just made this is not Alphamon.
It's like they could have banded together with the power of friendship,
Friendship and love and
amour.
hope. But yeah, it's weird. We have a month until an epilogue, which it. I'm curious to see if it's fully an epilogue or if it's also and they or if it starts with like, oh, Death X falls and the professor pounds his fist that they don't understand.
And also, I'm wondering why rush all the chapters back to back and then have a gap for the epilogue? If they had just left it as like
I
one every
because
week,
I
it
think
would have
that
just lined up
because I
anyway.
think the idea is to make the ending more exciting by running them in a row, and then you can have some space before the epilogue, which I think does work. It's just a matter of if the epilogue ends up fulfilling or not. If the epilogue
Sequel's
if
probably not.
if the epilogue ends up fulfilling to what Seekers has been, then I think it works. If it doesn't, then we just go, well, that was a month-long wait. Oh well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that will be March 10th, so a month to go. And then Dreamers pops up with another great chapter. This one, it's a lot of people went, "Is that it for Dreamers?" Because it really feels like it's the end.
Thankfully, it isn't.
Yeah, we know there's definitely more. We know there's going to be a volume 2 release of chapters, so we'll see what pops up. Uh, it's interesting
I'm
because
very excited to see whatever extras are in the Volume 2 release.
yeah, because Tenya Buno always makes sure his books have good stuff. So see, the funny thing is we always seem disinclined to talk about Dreamers a lot because we kind of want people to go and read it. But yeah, this one was
What else
just.
is more about Seekers that we can bitch about?
I think there's more about Seekers to talk about because of the content. Dreamers, since it's more gag and visual battle based, you don't want to talk and go, and then he punched him in the chest and he flew down. Like the art's great, and we get to see some interesting appearances, which I don't want to say who it is. I love just seeing that, and I really want to see where stuff goes. And nice to see Pulsemon being Pulsemon again, and them hinting that Ritsu's has more to do. I'm looking forward to that. It was a good chapter. Dreamers has been a delight.
It's our saving grace.
Yeah. And then we have movie news. It's been a while since movie news, huh? So, shout
Final while.
about 3 months. I think that's about how.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah. Well, part of the issue is we really weren't expecting to see the movie that quick. So, like, in our heads, it's like, it feels like we should only just be seeing it now, maybe. And instead, it's been a quarter of a year since we actually saw it. So, Shout has announced they have Digimon Adventure to the beginning. They have home video and digital cell rights. They'll release it later this year. They've given no details about that, minus that, they will be using the dub that was in theaters. Um, and that's basically all we have. They'll have stuff to say in the next few months, and so forth. And then a couple days after that, we got details for the Japanese release, which are weird because we got early ones that are unfinished, and we know they're unfinished because no DVD details, despite them saying there'd be DVDs. So we have Blu-rays on May 29th, 5.1 audio. Both Blu-ray versions will have a trailer collection and a clean version of the opening. I really am looking forward to the clean opening. That was such a good intro. The regular version
Agreed.
will be about $60 slipcover. It will have a leaflet with some type of art info. The deluxe version, though, good stuff for about an extra 30. So we get they call it a three-sided box because three sides has art. It's like a old style five-side chipboard box. The art's from
Oh, okay.
Seiji Tachikawa, who's the animation director and animation designer for this and Kizuna. Um,
Mm.
we get a booklet of some sort with illustration from Tomisa Taguchi. I love every time we see his illustrations. That weird sort of goofy SD design. There will also be another booklet with all of his. Remember how in the lead up they were showing the storyboard sketches from him? They're
Yes, I
gonna
love the angry
they're gonna include
Wormmon.
they're gonna include the storyboards for the entire opening in its own booklet.
Good luck scanning all that.
Eh. Then it will also include a CD that includes the 3 download ones that were done when it was in theaters, plus something new, which not saying what it is yet. So 3.5 months. We can probably expect that means that the non-Japanese disc will start coming out June, July, August. So hopefully not too long of a wait. Um,
Hmm.
I'm still slightly crossing my fingers that there'll be a 4K disc. I would like one with HDR and better compression.
Look, I don't see why they wouldn't, but hmm.
But see, that's the thing is some companies they will do the Blu-rays and then they'll do a 4K a year later, depending on what they're doing. So it's one of those where I don't know, but like that they have not announced that there's not DVD data yet makes me kind of go, oh, I can still hope, because the stuff they've said there is not completely there yet. So I can hope. Then we have key art for Digimon Con. First of all, I love that key art. It is great. Um,
Gugumon's my favorite.
I think my favorite is probably Gabumon because he's so happy to be there. Also, the number of people I went trying to figure out why Gabumon's on this arc, all I just kept looking. I'm going, did you guys look up a tiny bit?
Like it's adventure
Yeah, exactly.
anniversary year.
So this will be March 10th in Japan. So for me, it's going to be 7 p.m. For you, I think that's 9 p.m.
Ten? I think it's 10.
Okay, 10.
It's
Yeah.
10.
Okay. So
Let's see if I'm alive.
yeah. So guests for it will be Chika Sakamoto, Agumon, Mayumi Yamaguchi, Gabumon, and Notori Shigematsu Piomon. No real further details for now, minus them clarifying that 25th anniversary of the anime. So we're about a month away from that, and that could also be why they held back the epilogue, was to start that day off with a little Digimon story stuff.
Eh, that's
Yeah,
fair, I guess.
yeah. So
I wonder if they'll bring the Gabumon suit back.
I'm trying to think of the last time we saw that. It was it around when 2020 launched?
Mm,
Because they had the
I
Gabumon
know
suit
it's
at a
around
few.
when.
They had it in a few Kizuna events, didn't they?
I think it was around the time there was an Agumon suit running around with like a football or soccer outfit or something.
Okay, yeah, that was partway through 2020. But yeah. Um, Now remember, uh, this is something we've brought up. If you're making the huge list of what you want them to announce at Digimon Con, you may as well rip that up, and because that's not what it is. Think of it more as calm brand celebration, not Nintendo Direct announcement, announcement, announcement. If you're lucky, you might get two small announcements and something interesting. We don't really expect announcement palooza from this.
Yeah, it's not DigiFest.
It'd be nice, but the last 2 years have been roughly the same. I would not expect it any different this time.
Yep.
And then the February DigiGift wallpaper with Tomoki and Chakmon Snowman. I love.
That's adorable.
Also, this is the first time where almost everything in the wallpaper is at proper resolution. There's only one thing that isn't this time, and it's almost easy enough to overlook. For some reason, the O2 movie logo portion is low resolution.
Scroll, 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 scroll.
Because it's block format, though, it's almost easy to miss it. But like the calendars actually look nice this time.
Yeah, little. Yeah, when I zoom in, it's like, oh, it is a little fuzzy.
I love the Tomoki art though. Little Chalkmon snowman, so good. I'm so happy with that. And then this popped up just earlier today. So And Gallery is a brand cafe chain. They put up a silhouette of Tai and Agumon, and they'll have more to say on February 19th. Their stuff is basically cafe, maybe an art gallery and video stuff, maybe music stuff. So basically, kind of like the old Anion Cafe, Anion Station Cafe that we got for Digimon stuff.
So we will have to bring AR back for
Yes,
terrible drinks.
yes. Oh no, see, remember, actual cafe, so terrible drinks and food. Could we see the return of the blue curry?
Oh God, why? Why?
Yeah, so next week we will know what's going on here. And then this is one of the ones that was weird. So, uh, mobile game Dragon Poker put up a silhouette of Tai Nagamon that they'd be announcing a collaboration with an anime for Evolution in a few days. So first, when I went and looked, when they put the teaser up, I went and looked so I could learn it. I'm like, okay, this is not poker. They're just calling it that because it's like a card-based battling game. Then
Okay.
when they put up the stuff, I look at the footage and I'm like, actually, there is like a mild poker thing if you like really pay attention. The way someone put to me is it's poker from someone who had it explained to them. Um, Now we're never gonna play the game realistically. The art is
Oh hell no.
fantastic.
It is gorgeous. I just want like massive wallpapers of this.
Like every piece is great. Then like even like the Paimon, if you look at his head, it's like looks like perfect anime plus style artwork. Although I admit for a Pokemon, I would like something a bit more a face close up to a Pokemon and not the um, Dungeons and Dragons dice. Um, there,
Yeah.
there will be character voices you can buy to narrate the game for you, which is Agumon, Gabumon, and Tailmon. Yeah, some of the clips, it's very clearly is like kind of based on poker, but I just the art's so gorgeous. This
Kind of
it
like unexpectedly nice for
well
the
one
kind of game that it
well
is.
one thing that helps is there is no attempt to emulate anime at all. So there is no kind of weird where we go, it kind of looks anime but doesn't really look like Digimon. Here, since it's just unique art, it's just really easy to enjoy it.
I just had flashbacks to the one racing game with the Sora and Tai Chi skins, and they look
No,
absolutely
you know what
horrifying.
I just saw and started laughing? Do you remember that thing episode of The Simpsons where Bart and Lisa, like one was spinning their arms and one was kicking? It's like I'm just going to walk forward, and if you happen to not get out of the way, it's your own fault. Look at
Thankfully not.
look at Takaru's walk here. It looks like he's kicking.
Now it's actually making me think of like Pac-Man.
Yeah, but yeah, I the visuals for this are nice. I'm curious to see if we end up getting any more visuals. And then, are you ready for Cardo Palooza Dev? So
Woohoo!
we get Chohakaimon. I like the martial arts pose in the pig suit.
She's trying her best.
Yeah. Sanzomon. We get the martial arts genericness on this one, to be honest. It's nice detailing,
Yeah,
but there's nothing much here.
we
Shakamon.
we know where all the detail went.
Yes, we do. Shakamon's interesting because with Shakamon, you kind of don't want detail. You want like that exact pose, like the enlightenment idea. So it looks nice, but that unfortunately that means Shockman doesn't get anything exciting. Pyokomon gets really nice art though. Uh,
Oh, it's adorable.
do you see the Nyokimon, the one that's underwater that you can't see?
Yes, little
Yeah. Then we
leaf
get
poking in.
and then Pyomon with Pyokomon and Nyokimon riding it. That look how excited that Nyokimon is on the back.
That is so goddamn cute.
Then we get Final Excalibur. It is weird to see Dominimon just like hang around now.
It's like, oh, you used to only be in like V Tamer in one card, but now you're just here.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, buddy.
Then we get Pandemonium Lost, Barbamon doing his grab evil energy and blast people with it.
Ah, I like the sky in the background. It's pretty.
Barbamon needs a snack, I think. Ultimate Chaosmon. So I learned something new from this card. I learned that a lot of people didn't realize that the remnants of Chaosmon's body is part of Ultimate Chaosmon. People thought it was just floating ice with the arms. I found out that prior to this close-up, because the art has it so small for the profile art, people thought it was just the eyes and the arms.
Ah, okay.
They didn't realize that you had the like crystal corpse of Chaosmon in the middle. Because like it's not Chaosmon, like there aren't coherent legs or any. It's like it's like a crystal corpse or something. I don't know what to call it. Like you get what I mean, though, right?
It's like a
It's
little chess piece.
yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot of people didn't realize that because the art has never shut off well. Uh, so the weird thing about Boogiemon in this art, does it look like it's supposed to be in a Tim Burton film?
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't imagine that. I was sitting there like, this looks weird. And Felismon is just happy to get a card after he got punched in the head in manga. And Pico Devimon showing up a lot in these.
I just like the little Digimon they have in the background, just
Yeah.
having a good time.
Then for Duramon, I understand why they went with the red to me. It makes the card looks much more interesting until you actually look and realize these are just rocks that he's reflecting. It's not like red like blood or anything like that. It's just rocks being blasted at him.
Looks like he's shooting blood at rocks like a lizard.
Yes. And Raiji Ludamon is also. I like. So it's weird. This art feels very transformery for Raiji Ludamon. It's a little close up for me though.
Delta doesn't help that, like, a lot of it is covered by the text.
And lightning. And then,
Very busy.
can we all appreciate Chacomon helping a Kokomon up and down very tiny steps? Eh, Most people don't know this is the origin of Trubamon virus. Is one of these falls down and smacks their face. Then we
I
get
would not blame them.
Trimon, which it's interesting. I just like the martial arts pose, to be honest. It's just neat. And so Neo Devimon feels like it was a high point for a lot of people because the art looks so nice.
Ooh, I didn't even look at somehow I missed seeing that one earlier.
Yeah, it's weird because there's been so many cute art in this set that it feels like a lot of people skip this one for some reason. And then Dun Devimon looks great. You really do feel the spawn venom in this one.
And there's Pico Devimon again.
Yeah, he's showing up a lot of these. Although I actually like how in this one the big backhands are more smoky. A lot of times when we've seen him with those, they're more part of his body, and I think they're
Yeah,
a
so
bit
like more ethereal.
yeah they're a bit more they're a bit creepier this way I think because like you almost don't recognize them as being part of him to some degree. So I think that's kind of neat. Let's see who is next because it's Durandamon.
Uh,
This one,
very Gundam boxy.
so for me, this one it just feels cluttery. Like it's very detailed art, but
There's a lot of effects and a lot of
yeah,
debris and
that kind of happens with Brewell Udramon, to be honest. Like you can tell he's kind of using one of his attacks, but also, well, he's not a very coherent body character, anyways, to be honest. So it feels like pulling back from him a bit helps. And this one's very close up. And then it's the Digimon who does not exist, Ragnalordmon. I really like this art, to be honest. Although it does feel like that a lot of people think that's meant to be an insult against him when I say he doesn't exist, because I've said it before. No, that's part of his profile. There is no Ragnalordmon. That it's a Digimon that does not exist. Which is why I think he's kind of cool. Where they're imagining the Digimon who will use them someday. And they literally come up with their Alphamon, Omegamon, Dukemon original character do not steal. He's blue. None of them are blue. He's an original character. Don't steal him.
that is amazing.
Yeah. Then we get the Divine Legend Arms, which shows them making him. And then after that, we get combined into the Ultimate Digimon. I love this card because there was an earlier version of it which was fused into the Ultimate Digimon, which was Omegamon. That card was based on a card from the original card game, and this is just taking that theme, changing the name slightly to be for Ultimate Chaosmon. What's fun?
That's so creepy looking.
Yeah, especially when you like notice the eyes at the side where they're kind of put so you can kind of see the mouths around them. It just works really well. And then here's where like when they start popping up the Tamers cards, I kind of like forgot what set I was in. Where it's like, oh, it is a holy set, but it feels kind of weird for Takaru and Hikari just to pop up here.
They're just being kids.
Yeah. And then after them,
Just running.
we got a Shiu-chan. Does it feel like Terriermon's about to get hurt from looking at this card. She's about to grab him and squeeze.
Maybe that's where we get Cheermon Vice from.
And then this is, I think, one of the high points, the Lucimon card.
Absolutely.
We get the heavy detail, and we get the echo of fall down mode behind him in the energy.
Yes, but
Uh,
also I feel so sorry for the poor bastard that drew every single goddamn feather.
oh, I didn't even think about that. That is a lot of detailing on the feathers. Like, you can see multiple detailing bits per feather. Damn.
Yep.
And then the fall down mode parallel card. I don't know how to put it because it's like it's flat art that isn't flat because then they go through and add texture and everything.
It has kind of like a woodcut feel to it.
Yeah, but like it's a weird thing where like you want to say it's flat color, but it's not because you do get gradients and detailing. It's just neat. Then after that, then we get Trubamon Ace Virtue with a parallel card holding all the Terramon and Lopmons. I love this one's so cute. This really feels like something that should be like a playmat or something, though, doesn't it?
It also feels very gelatinous. Like everything, like the
Yeah.
way that the layers of shading and highlighting are, it just feels like I want to touch it. It feels like it would be goopy.
Okay, so for this next one, for Leviamon, the parallel card, if you look at it and you don't look closely, does it feel like it's just like a weird dog head and nothing else? Because like you definitely do see
It's
his
what I have
body.
to wake up to in the morning.
But yeah, that's a great card. The Dominimon parallel card looks amazing, and it appears to be a reference to that V Tamer battle with Omegamon at the end, because you can see Omegamon in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to zoom in because I didn't notice him the
Now,
first
I
time.
believe I believe that chapter image had Regulusmon in it. Wait, no, not. What was his name? I forgot now. Was it Regulusmon? The Leomon
Yeah, I think it
evolution.
was
Yeah, I
it's either Regulamon or
yeah
Regulusmon.
my
There's
my
only
yeah I said Regulusmon and my brain went no, that's the Ghost game.
that's the asshole dragon.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
so
just take off an S.
yeah, so we need Leomon to evolve so they can do this card up properly. But the art here is so good. It's so neat to have him just showing up in stuff like since they added him to the
Reference book.
no, not reference book, the Vital Bracelet BE. Since they announced that, he popped up
Oh
in the
yeah.
reference book, cards. He's just showing up and stuff. It's like it's weird because he's always been around, but he hasn't gotten stuff. But like he would show up in
Just like,
social
oh,
art
it's one
and
of
stuff.
those Digimon that barely
Yeah.
exists.
Demon gets great pill art. Do you notice what he's doing in it?
Down.
This is great, and a bunch of people noticed. He's ripping off the cloak.
Okay, I see it there. It's just like, what does he have in his hand?
Yeah, he's ripping off the cloak and the beads and everything. That is a great little
It's like, up,
detail.
time to
And
throw
then
down.
so the Seraphimon's one is one I feel bad about because it's an amazing card. It also feels
But
like
it's
it's
just there.
completely yeah, it is completely normal in a set where the parallel cards are crazy. Uh
It feels like we've gotten this card like 5 times
yeah.
already.
Belphemon Rage modes look nice, but also for if it did not have the art style, I think we'd be saying the same with this Belphemon Rage mode card as we did Seraphimon. It feels like a Belphemon Rage mode card.
Yeah.
Belphemon
It's like
Rage
it feels
mode.
like we've gotten this
Belphemon
so much.
Belphemon Rage mode is angry and doing a rushing slash. It looks great, but that is also like the stereotype for that character. Then we get Advent of the Seven Great Demon Lords, the three Archangels descend, and Tamer Card Mirai. The art on. So let's talk about the Demon Lord and Angel card first. Demon Lord,
I fucking want that Demon Lord
it
card so badly.
it's really fucking good. Like the anime comic style art to it. The
Also, they put the best girl up front.
the angel card, I so there's two things about it. One, the pose is very much the this is the thousandth angels descending card we've gotten. The art makes it look neat because the shading is very different than what we get normally. I think. Like
Yeah, it's a lot more dynamic.
the color textures, and Mirai gets some very nice anime style art. I will say it does her face really well. That sort of weird, you can't tell if she's smiling or about to smack someone.
She's smiling because she's about to smack someone.
That works. And then we're also getting previews for Limited Card Set 2024. So we start off with Shivamon Ace and Green Scramble. Shivamon's
Hmm.
interesting because it feels like you don't want to see him doing anything other than that pose.
It's very neon as well.
Yeah. And Green Scramble, we get Terramon, Wormmon, and Angoramon. Two of them are doing something, the other one is upside down. Uh, Agumon,
Terrymon's leg looks like a chicken drumstick.
yes, it does. Bonds of Courage Ace. I love the art. It is very high energy action pose. It's very nice. It's also very much what we expect for the character. Like, if we saw a little Tai Chi on his shoulder, would we be shocked from this pose?
Nope.
And then with Red Scramble, we get a few anime heroes rushing forward. Although, am I wrong, or does Gamamon seem weirdly happy compared to the other two?
He's just delighted to be there.
Gabumon Bonds of Friendship, we get a bit more of an action-y pose than Agumon.
Why didn't they just give us the motorcycle?
I feel like the motorcycle, you know what it is? It feels like the motorcycle should be the one we get in Secret Crisis where it's all the movie stuff.
Ooh.
Like, that should be one where, like, and it bonus points if you have an Agumon Bonds of Courage. And you have to use them in tandem, as if he's riding the motorcycle. That'd be neat. And then
I agree.
And then for Blue Scramble, this is a combination of characters. Viamon, Gabumon, and Jellymon. That is a great combination. Then Cyberdramon Ace. It's interesting. Cyberdramon falls into the vein of this is very standard, nice art for him, but it's also what we want to see him doing, which is slashing. And weirdly,
Also, it really feels like the packaging that was on the old D-reel figure of him.
I was gonna say it felt like a Gundam or Kamen Rider box, honestly. Like the knee pose, sort of, where it's kind of like a hero pose.
Yeah, but the background really looks like reminded me of the box. It's around here somewhere. I will have to
You know,
excavate it eventually.
I want to see this card in person because does it feel like the red in the background? Does that feel like something that should be foil on the card?
Like the wings.
Yeah, like the red wings. Like, look at how they're colored. Does that feel like that'd be great as foil?
Actually, I was thinking the blue with the claws because it is kind of like a glittery effect to it.
I think we can agree that they should absolutely do that to both the wings and the claws.
Just also emboss the entire
Yeah.
body.
And then for Black Scramble, Dorumon,
Yeah,
Karamon, and Espeon. This is the weird. This is like the weird combination. We get the TV special hero, the movie villain, and Espimon is there too.
Espimon is there.
Espimon he kind of looks cool though, don't you think? Cool and or stupid based on how you want to take it.
He looks
I
very
like it.
stupid.
I like it though. Then this will bring this will warm your heart, Dev. So
No.
did you see the Card Game Fest playmat being sold at Premium Bandai?
Wow, that's kind of generic.
No. Do you want to know why this will make you happy?
Why?
They put this up right like the day after the event ended, as people were starting to trying to scalp theirs on eBay for over $100.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They put it
Now I am actually delighted.
it is on there for $30. Literally like the instant. Like if I look for Card Fest Playmat 23-24 Digimon, what will pop up? $110, 85, 75, 90, 100, 100.
Is there any difference? Like, do they say like
No,
winner on him or
no,
something?
no. That it was a souvenir playmat that you could get there. It's just they're selling them online also now. I think the idea was just you would be able to get it early because this is not going to ship until when does it ship?
August.
August, which is fine. Here's the thing: if you want the playmat, $30. Let's say you're buying nothing else, that makes it what with shipping 40, I think.
Yeah, I
Would
think it's like $10
yeah,
flat.
yeah. So $40, and you wait a few months, do other stuff. Don't worry about it. Or spend 100 on eBay. Worry that the person's not going to ship it well. Worry that it's been crushed. Worry that it's been used. Or order it from Premium Bandai, uh, and you can use that extra money to relax and have ice creams while you wait. But yeah, literally, this was like the day. This was like the day after the event. They put this up, and I just went, "Oh, I can't wait to tell Dev about this. She's going to love it."
Ah,
Yeah,
the Schadenfreude.
yeah. And May 31st will be Booster Set EX07, which will be Digimon Liberator themed. With
Yay! It's time for Shu.
Shu and Shushu.
Shu.
So we will
I
see what
love
pop.
Shu.
Yeah, so that this set comes out the end of May gives us a good gauge of when we should expect Liberator, which is basically anywhere between now and May 31st, and also Shu. Uh,
Shu.
so then, Tamer battle events in March are going to change the way the prizes work. So Battle Pack 21 will be there as normal, but these are all new cards. They are not parallel cards. So Dremojimon, Gatsumon X, Vamdemon X, and Reload Plugin Q. First off, can we say how great the Gatsumon and Vamdemon cards are?
The Vandemon card is just
Yeah.
absolutely fucking fabulous.
Now, this time, the winner or the lotto gets the winner's pack, which is the same cards, all of which winner tagged, and they've gotten rid of that winner background that they've been using since Tamer Battle Pack 1, which is like the color
Yay,
dots.
because that kind of sucked.
Yeah. Then Tamer Battle EX. For the giveaways, love the Battle Pack, the Liberator Pack, which they gave away the English version of at the event a week or so ago, and the winner gets Belphemon Sleep Mode, which is based on, I think, see, I like saying his first card, but I think this was his only card in the original card game. Because I think he only had one.
I don't remember. Like
Yeah.
one, like only two maximum.
Yeah, I think this was his only one. And this may have been one of those ones that was from after the card game ended. And then they would do the promo ones adding in new characters. Because I'm not sure he existed when that card game was running. I may be mixed up. Because the problem is, I kind of associate him with the Savers era.
And I was there beforehand.
Okay, so then it was a normal card then.
Hmm.
They also did a preview of that, showing it next. So the weird thing, and a lot of people don't realize this, um, there are generally two sizes for card games. There's the, for lack of a better term, Japan standard and US standard. Um, the new card game, no matter where you are, it uses the US size cards, which is why when they do previews of cards that existed in the old card game, the new card always looks bigger because they actually are.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's why anytime we see these previews, the new card is always looks weirdly larger. But yeah, so
Little fun fact.
what is that card number? It's BO1S. So it actually is a special card. What was BO1S from? I want to see. BO1S is from Hyper Coliseum promo. That's not helpful. Oh, a
Uh,
tournament promo from 2004. So that's right around when the card game ended, I think. Like, I think there was a year left or so.
yeah, I think it ended around like 2000, like
5 or
right before
6.
Savers,
Yeah, it was like right as
because then
Saber started.
Savers had the
The
card app,
card game alpha.
yeah, with like the arcade machine
Yeah.
tie-in.
That is not, that is, I will say, since we do not get stacks of these like we did for EX01, it's nice seeing them again. The profile art cards. And then for card battle, Hideyoshi showed up, and they pointed out he looks nothing like he did like a year ago when he left. They actually put up side by side images of him with when he was on the show. And it's like, wow, in a year, I'm pretty sure his hair part's in a different place because he grows it differently. And they literally put up text on the screen that said who.
My facial recognition is so bad that I would not have been able to tell.
It really does look like someone else. And then we have poll results. So this is part one of favorite Digimon add to the reference book in 2023. Fenrir Lugamon wins with 16%.
Surprise!
It's interesting. It's a little bit of a surprise. It's not super wild, though, especially with nothing really dominating this time.
I figured it'd be switched with Lugamon, honestly.
Well, see, that's the thing. There's so many of the Lugamon family here, because you have Fenrir Lugamon, you have Lugamon, you have Hell
Hell,
Lugamon,
Lugamon.
Soul Lugamon, Bowmon, and Fusamon, and Lugermon. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of him. I think he adds up to like 40% just his family. Uh, I'm trying to decide, is there anyone that am I wrong, or does Cargomon have a much better showing here than the last time they appeared in one of these?
He does.
Yeah. It
Because last night was like near the bottom. It's like, no, why would
yeah.
you do our boy dirty?
It feels like Regulusmon got harmed here by Proximamon being there.
Okay, but Proximamon was really fucking cool.
He was, but he didn't show up in anything. And all of his cards had
He
the
won.
art at weird angles. I mean, like, here's the thing. I would not have expected Regulusmon to have been shoved down so low that Quantumon almost passed it.
Yeah, I expected like top 4 for
Yeah,
Regulusmon. Just going by other polls.
yeah. Regulusmon really got harmed by Proximon and Arcturusmon, to be honest.
Mm,
But yeah, so we'll see what part 2 is, and if they do a combined one, or if when they give us the part 2 results, they just give us both at the same time. And then, so first up, photos from Card Game Fest, a few more of those, and a few from the Ayumi Miyazaki concert they did there. It looks like they put on a really nice event, which is nice because it's more fun to see the fun events than like when they did that one online tournament like 3 years ago that we mocked endlessly. The one where like they were blurring the mats and like the
and and then it ceased to exist. Like all evidence of it was just like wiped from existence.
yes, I much prefer talk about being like, oh, this is a neat little thing, like the big screen behind him with the anime footage. It just looks good.
A pretty big crowd too, so it looks like everyone had
Ayumi
fun.
Miyazaki was also at AEX Santiago. Showed some photos. He said the Chilean fans were very enthusiastic. Very, very nice crowd. Do you see the giant Agumon in the back of that photo, by the way?
Nice.
The
Oh
third
my god, I see it.
the third photo, there's just I can't tell if it's like it's just a giant fucking Agumon, and it's great. I love that someone made that. Then Andabirth showed off their Digimon corner. I love this just having a little shop corner like that works really well, I think.
It's really cute, and also I like the way it's set up is very satisfying.
Well, I would like photos of the other side because if you look in the thing, you can see the reverse of the plushies is more Digimon stuff. You can see Takuya and Koji on the products on that stand. So it
Ah.
is like a literal corner thing. So I would like to see that, not just the easy to take photo with the adventure logo. And then the Pote Pote R figures. These are amazing. I really like these.
They're fucking adorable. Also, I kind of want to eat them.
It does kind of have the feeling of like that they're made from what's that almond candy?
Marzipan, I
Yes,
think.
yes. It looks like they're made of marzipan, doesn't it?
Yes,
Especially ones like the Tailmon, the Agumon, the Gabumon, the Hikari. They have like a weird candy look to them.
exactly. It looks like they'd be on a cake, and then you just kind of like pick it off
Yeah,
and run off and just shove it in your mouth when no one else is looking.
yeah. So the price of these are $8. And here's what I like. They mention their blind box, but they give you the ratio. Do you know what the ratio is
Okay.
for each figure? 1 to 8. There's no chase.
Huh.
There's no chase figure. And there's no secret. So you have an even chance of getting any of them.
I wonder if like you can guarantee the whole thing if you just buy a box.
I don't know if they do. That's bad for me because I would probably just buy one. And I'm certainly not checking a toy store that does imports right now to see if they have them. They do not. This is gonna be one of those things where if they do have it, I get a box. You're gonna be like, I want these ones.
Yeah.
Okay, which is your favorite and which is your least favorite of these 8? Because I love these stupid little things.
Okay, the Tailmon absolutely is my favorite.
So I've changed my mind on the favorite. I think the ones that I skew towards are the ones that don't look quite right to the anime. So like Gabumon, look at his head.
It looks like a little mutant.
It almost looks like how you would imagine a Muppet Gabumon to look.
Oh my god.
Like, doesn't that look like you can imagine the head opening?
Yes, just unhinged.
Yeah, I like the ones where it's like Gabumon, Tailmon, Hikari, and Agumon, where they look slightly off.
I
My
don't like the Patamon one. Just like the
so
transition between the colors just looks off.
I think the Patamon is close to least for me because I think it looks a bit too pill shaped sitting up like that.
Oh.
And also, Yamato clearly does not want to be there. Like,
Does he ever want to be anywhere?
look how happy everyone is, and Yamato's like, they made me into an SD figure. I didn't ask for this.
It's like I have become a marshmallow.
Yeah, these all look nice though. Then we get February art. This is supposed to be that watermelon game, isn't it? I think they're parodying. I don't know how that. I've seen footage of people playing it for like 10 seconds. I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's suika, which is Japanese for watermelon, if I remember.
Huh.
You hit like you like throw fruits into a thing, and if they hit like fruits, they become bigger, more deluxe fruits. I think. So I think the idea here is he's throwing in the stuff to make it bigger to make Omegamons. Look, as long as Piccolomon's happy, I'm happy. Also, that
He's there.
Agumon in the corner looks oddly happy to be there.
He's about to get smashed.
Ramon in the chat asks why Omegamon said, as far as I know in the game, you're throwing in like tiny fruits, and if you hit the right type of fruit, they combine into a bigger fruit. So you're trying to make bigger fruits to get points. So the idea is that in the context of it being Digimon, Omegamon would be the best you can get. That is a big ass head, though, I have to admit. And then, so Mallow, who does all the Seekers art, put up really big versions of the last 2 Seekers key arts. Amazing level of detail on these, significantly better than what they put on the site. Like there's some really good lightning crackles on the last one, just really nice.
Yeah, trying to zoom in on the ones on Digimon Web was just like I want to see it bigger.
Oh no, there's the amount of detail on these is really good. Just solid. And then we got some countdown images to Chinese New Year's. So a lot from the Chinese version of the Digimon card game, and also from the plush TDCX, who makes some of the plushies. I love that Patamon plushie, and that Gabumon plushie looks
Looks
goofy.
kind of. He looks unfortunate.
Patamon looks good though. Um,
Very soft and squishy.
and then Ayumi Miyazaki posted a few more pictures from AEX Santiago, and also showed that he was going to be at MEFCC, which is the Middle East Film and Comic Con, which is a couple days ago. He was
Hmm.
posting. I think he posted some more photos, so we'll see that next time. Toei Museum was posting photos, basically going, "The weather's bad. We're still open, but be careful. Make sure you're dressing warm. Some areas in the entrance are cordoned off for safety, and you can see Saber's Agumon all alone." And on the keep out sign, if you look, there's a thing
For
of
your safety.
if you look at the keep out sign, there's Pero small falling and smacking his head.
Oh my god, that's great. I didn't even notice that. I just had to zoom in.
Yeah, that's great. Um,
Keep out, you will fucking die.
and then Naoki Akamine posted not only the full let's do Mimi first. Not only the full version of Mimi, but the process ones, and they do such amazing coloring and graphic work.
Everything here is utterly fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about these a long time just because they're gorgeous, but like showing the process is neat. The lighting work on the crests and shit. And then here's Sora.
It's
So
like, please teach me your secrets.
Sora's is neat because in color, I did not realize that the roses were on fire from the sketch.
Me either. I thought it was just like,
Like fancy, like stylized. As like, oh no, it's fire. That's neat.
I thought
Yeah,
they were just like disintegrating, but no, it's like, oh, it's on fire.
it's like, man, it really does feel like they're gonna do all 8. So we'll see. There's only 2 left in theory.
Please do more after this. We love
And
you.
then we really do love their art. And it's time for questions. You guys in chat can throw yours in. Someone said you guys have talked about the wave of Digimon Adventure stuff to expect this year. When do you think it will start? We're at the point now where they're announcing stuff. There's not like it's started. It's just not gas yet.
It's like we already have like more game collaborations
The
and
cafe thing.
cafe and
Here's functionally when
Digimon
it
Con coming up.
here's when it's fully going to start. Less than a month when the anniversary hits. Like they're already like priming the pump now. So it's functionally started. You just don't know it yet.
We're gonna be destroyed.
I know.
They'll never find our bodies.
They'll just hear our voices going, "That drink looks fucking terrible. Who would just throw a flower in a cup of coffee?"
From underneath a pile of Patamon plushies that are very slightly different.
Yes. And then, so someone said they saw me talking about it on social media. Why does Shin Ultraman have so many discs in North America? Okay, I did mention this. Let me explain. Dev will find amusement in this. So, Shin Ultraman was licensed in the US by a company called Cleopatra. When I say this next sentence, Dev, either audibly or non audibly, is going to go, "Oh no." Cleopatra mostly does horror and concert films. They don't generally do a lot of subtitled material. So that people get the disc, and I believe it was a caption track, not subtitles. The dub and Japanese audio was lossy, not lossless. There's all kinds of issues. And Cleopatra went, "No, we're going to make this right. We'll do a replacement." They do the replacement, and it's not good either. So Cleopatra went, "No, we're going to make this right. We're going to do a replacement." Now, here's
They
the thing.
flipped it up again.
Well, no, here's the thing. They didn't necessarily tell people properly after the time too. So you either just didn't get your replacement for an extra period of time while they tried to get a proper translation done, and then you just ended up with the third disc, or if you got the second disc, they'd be like, well, no, we already replaced your disc. We don't need to replace it again. It's like, you do understand that if the second one isn't good enough and you're doing a third one to replace the second one, if someone got the second one, you need to replace that if that's what you're going to do. The third one, I got that one after getting a replacement. I haven't watched it, but from what I can tell, minus the menus being kind of confusing, it seems to be mostly okay. It's not great, but whatever. The Canadian distributor figured all this out from Cleopatra having issues and did their own disc rather than using the Cleopatra disc.
I don't blame them.
Yeah. So I got that. So I got that disc. I'm like, oh, it has nice color, nice cover, original art. I look at it. It's fine. There's some weird shit. Nothing like bad, but like some confusing stuff. Like, let me pull up what I said about it, and Dev, you can be confused with me. Okay.
I'm always confused.
Okay. So it has, not including commentaries or whatever, it has 3 audio tracks. So you have 5.1 Japanese, lossless. That makes sense for a movie, correct?
Okay.
Then an English dub, 5.1 lossless. That makes sense. Now,
Okay.
a lot of movies will have a 2.0 track made for home use because it might sound nicer to have a 2.0 track if possible. So there's a 2.0 Japanese track, which is lossy, not lossless, which that's fine. Here's the odd part. I pull up the audio and I start looking through like the data just to see like the bitrate good. I'm like, why is this identifying as a Dolby surround track? So I'm going to explain something that some of you might not know about Dolby. Uh, Dev, you're very familiar with Dolby Digital as like DVD audio and such, right?
Mostly.
Okay, so Dolby Digital, the standard Dolby Digital most people are familiar with would be stereo or 5.1.
Yeah.
What most people don't know is there was a format called Dolby Surround. Now, you would think that's just 5.1. It wasn't. Dolby Surround was 2 channels. You might go, that doesn't make any sense. It's two channels, but and I'm going to explain this very basic. Not There's like a blanking area in the audio that tells a receiver that understands Dolby Surround that past this point, this is actually a different audio channel if you support more than 2 channels of audio. So the 2 channel can actually unfold into a 4 channel surround sound audio.
Huh.
Now, so here's what's weird. That used to be common, but maybe I just don't pay attention to like DVD audio, like because I'm used to just getting like 5.1 Blu-ray audio.
You basically get like the high class
Yeah,
sexy
yeah.
shit.
I'm not used to getting. I don't know if these tracks are common anymore. I look at them like, does anyone like get DVDs and this is still a common type of track to get? Because it feels weird to show up in a movie in 2024, especially a movie where that had 5.1 audio. So it just was like it's not bad that it does that. It's just weird.
Confusing.
Yes, that's the perfect word.
Perplexing.
It's confusing because it's not something I expect to see that, oh, okay, they included 2.0 home video audio. That's great. Why does this have the marker saying that it can unfold into 4 channel stereo? I mean, the disc seems nice. Still some other audios, but nothing bad. It's just odd. Interesting might be the right word. I would have wished they had packaged it a bit better because the slipcover got a bit banged up, and the slipcover has like gorgeous drawn artwork that I don't remember seeing elsewhere.
Shame.
Yeah, then someone wants to know I think this is for you because there's no way in hell this question's for me.
Mm.
What is the most deluxe Digimon costume you could make?
See, that is a very interesting question
And
because
that is why I assume this was a question meant specifically for you that just didn't have your name on it, because I don't know why someone would ask me that, because mine would be I could put on like a vest and be Joe. That's it. You actually do costumes.
yes, well, the thing is like theoretically I could make something completely insane with like wings, and
Okay, so what you're saying is basically you could
I
make
could
it.
go batshit insane and make it a full ass fucking dragon.
Okay, so basically
But I'm sleepy.
you could make any Digimon with budget and time. Basically,
Yes,
is
pretty
there
much.
any Digimon you could? This is not part of the question. This is me asking because I'm curious. Is there any Digimon you think you could not make if someone commissioned it and gave you proper time and budget? Like, is there anywhere if someone said how much would it cost and you just went, no, I'm not. No, it's not happening.
Mm. Something with a lot of tailoring, like actual dress work tailoring.
How about just a giant Ukomon with a Muppet mouth?
I could do that. I absolutely could fucking do that.
No, that's why I went with it because that's just the most ludicrous one to me.
Sadly, I would not be good at making, let's say, Lilithmon, because I cannot sew a dress to save my fucking life. I can
Okay,
make giant creatures, but
okay.
actual clothing,
So costumes, yes. Clothing, no. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Is there any you just wouldn't want to do because of the level of detail, or is it more the case of, hey, if they're gonna pay for it, whatever?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like,
Okay,
hey, if this is covering my bills and I
okay.
get to play with lots of materials, yes,
This next question I kind of hate because my throat's hurting right now.
we're all dying.
It's been cold. Had any good hot drinks lately? I've been downing lots of tea and coffee.
Same, same.
Like it's a season where just like it just makes you feel better. Like I could feel my throat right now, like straining to talk.
Also, I've been doing like the salt rinse gargles pretty much nonstop.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, last chance for
Yeah.
questions in chat. Someone wants to know what do you think is the best way to enjoy Digimon Con if you want to watch it live? I have just a couple recommendations. One, don't I mean like we said before, don't go in just assuming here's your list of demands. It's not going to happen. Think of it as a calm fan event to watch for a few hours. Do not think of it as they're going to announce everything I've ever dreamed of. And
Also, like, keep an eye on the announced schedule, because there's some stuff it's like, oh, I don't want to sit here and watch
yeah,
like a TCG gameplay for like an hour and a half.
go
So,
get a meal during that time.
yeah.
Basically sit there, be calm, have a drink, and just be aware what you're watching if you're going to watch it live. Like there's a reason why like if it's late if these are late at night, a lot of people don't stay up for them because they know it's not going to be announce-o-palooza. So if you're on the East Coast and you go like going to bed early, 10 to whatever time they go to, it may not be worth your time to watch live. Like I'm not sure I expect Dev to show up for an event that starts at 10 p.m. Like what if it's 3 hours? It goes to one. That may be reasonable. If it goes 5 hours, Dev, I don't think you'd stay up till 3 a.m. for it, would you?
Not specifically for that. Usually, especially depending on the day of the week, because like sometimes I have to get up at like ass in the
Well,
morning to go to work.
this is Saturday.
Yeah, I have work on Sunday
Yeah,
mornings, so
yeah. Dev will wake up Sunday morning, see if anything was announced, and go, nothing was announced. Oh, manga contest again. The end.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Dev, pick a Wikimon article for the people to read.
If I want to be really, really sad, look at the Digimon Seekers article, because, there's pretty much nothing there because we're trying to figure out how the fuck to format all these chapters.
Yeah, I guess would you make articles by segment or by chapter? It feels like by chapter, I think.
Because, like, there's no point, aside from, like, the artwork, there's no point in doing it by
Yeah.
segment, because
And you guys have
some
the
are just, like, a couple paragraphs.
gallery set up so you could have more than one piece of art anyways.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, here's all the art that showed up in
Yeah.
this one chapter.
Yeah, so I can be found at With the Wills always. We will be back in a couple weeks, hopefully with the actual time to watch the movie this time.
Huzzah.
To be fair, we didn't expect there to be a half dozen Seekers chapters this time.
Yeah, if it was just like two, then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's weird because for all we know, Liberator will be running by next time. We literally don't know. So we'll see.
Well, we will find out.
Yeah. So we will catch you guys all later. Thank you for showing up. Bye.
Bye.